Jadi kamu kalau mau kuliah di China, yang diperlukan Mandarin, betul. Tapi hanya Mandarin saja, HSK saja, itu sangat tidak cukup. Karena Mandarin itu, HSK itu adalah General Chinese, Chinese umum, bahasa Mandarin umum. Sedangkan kalau kamu mau kuliah, kamu harus tahu bahasa Mandarin akademis, matematika dalam Mandarin, kalau bahasa Mandarin ya, ekonomi dalam Mandarin, komputer dalam Mandarin, semuanya dalam Mandarin. Menulis paper pun dalam Mandarin, gitu ya. Jadi kalau kamu hanya datang dengan nilai HSK, ya tentu kamu akan kesulitan gitu. Ya, karena itu kami ada program yang menyiapkan kamu lebih menyeluruh supaya kamu tidak harus menghadapi kesulitan-kesulitan seperti ini nih, matematika, ekonomi semuanya dalam bahasa Mandarin ya. Jadi kita ini program ini adalah namanya International Foundation Program, untuk tujuannya untuk menjembatani kalian dari SMA di Indonesia dengan kuliah di China, baik itu pakai bahasa Inggris, bahasa Mandarin maupun bahasa Inggris. Kami juga ada program persiapan yang untuk nanti lanjutannya ke yang program bahasa Inggris. Ya, yuk kita mulai. Nah, jadi kalau kamu datang ke universitas hanya berdasarkan General Chinese, ya, ini masih banyak pintu, ini kamu belum terbuka, kamu belum belum sepenuhnya siap untuk kuliah gitu ya. Walaupun HSK kamu sudah 6 ya, apalagi 4, 6, itu kamu masih akan ada kesulitan di pintu-pintu lain yang belum terbuka. Ya, kita maunya semuanya all rounded, terbuka supaya kamu masuk universitas dalam kondisi yang sesiap mungkin gitu ya. Nah, kita masuk dulu ke program foundation ini diselenggarakan oleh perusahaan kami, namanya China Campus Network. China Campus Network pusatnya ada di Shanghai. Dia mempunyai cabang di 15 negara. Kalau di Indonesia itu kami ya, China Campus Network Indonesia. Kami di dalam konsorsium pendidikan kami ada 37 universitas top, ya, seberapa top nanti kita bisa lihat ya. Lalu kami ada center di tempat belajarnya ya, tempat belajar AFP-nya itu ada di 11 lokasi. Terus kami hadir di 15 negara ya. Lalu kami memberikan beasiswa yang sangat sosial gitu ya. 92% murid kami mendapatkan beasiswa. Lalu saat ini kami sudah menamatkan 3.000 murid dari program persiapan ini, foundation ini ya. Dan mereka semua sudah masuk ke universitas sesuai dengan yang mereka inginkan. Nah, ini kembali lagi ke gambar ini. Jadi yang kami siapkan adalah ini, lebih lengkap ya. Kamu dikasih HSK, General Chinese, lalu Chinese untuk kebutuhan spesial, kita sebutnya Chinese for academic purpose ya, untuk keperluan akademis. Lalu ada pelajaran-pelajaran yang kamu diajarkan juga seperti tadi matematika, fisika, kimia. Kalau kamu ambilnya sains, kalau kamu ambilnya bisnis, nanti berarti matematika bisnis. Lalu ada ekonomi study, bisnis study dan seterusnya ya. Disiapkan lebih awal. Lalu di sini diajarkan study skill, lalu budaya belajar di China itu seperti apa, supaya kamu lebih rounded, lebih siap untuk masuk ke jenjang kuliah ya. Nah, yang tadi kita bilang, kami hadir di 15 negara. Ini negaranya tersebar di Asia, ada di 4 negara ini. Di Indonesia adalah China Campus Network Indonesia. Ini adalah tim kami, teman-teman kami. Kita lagi berkumpul di headquarter Alibaba. Ini adalah daftar dari 37 universitas yang menjadi bagian dari konsorsium kami. Jadi anak-anak lulusan dari International Foundation Program, anak-anak yang lulus dari CCN itu diakui sertifikatnya oleh keseluruhan member ini, keseluruhan universitas ini ya. Nah, terus kita mau bandingkan sekarang kualitas universitas CCN dibandingkan dengan ranking universitas yang lain di dunia. Ya, jadi di dalam list kami, member kami ada Fudan University di ranking dunia adalah ranking 31, Zhejiang University ranking 45, Shanghai Jiaotong ranking 50, dan seterusnya. Oke. Mungkin adik-adik kenal ya CUHK ini ya, CUHK ternyata rankingnya hanya 53. Ya, kita di member kita masih ada 3 universitas yang rankingnya lebih tinggi dari CUHK. Dan by the way, CUHK ini adalah CUHK Hong Kong ya, bukan CUHK Shenzhen ya. Ini beda university ya, satu di Hong Kong, satu di Shenzhen ya. Namanya memang CUHK juga, itu cabang dari Hong Kong ya, tapi yang di ranking di sini adalah yang di induknya. Ini induknya, oke, Hong Kong, bukan Shenzhen ya. Lalu Monash University yang biasa menjadi incaran anak-anak nih ya, di Aussie, ini saya lulusan sini, ini sekolah alma mater saya, Australia, itu rankingnya 58, oke. Lalu yang kita kenal di sini apa nih? National Cheng Kung University yang di Taiwan, itu rankingnya 200-an. Lalu masuk ke Indonesia nih, yang saya kuning-kuningkan nih Universitas Indonesia. Ya, ranking tertinggi di Indonesia kalau secara dunia hanya di 254, yaitu Gadjah Mada University. UI sudah lebih turun lagi ke 290. Ya, ITB, IPB itu semua di bawah. IPB ada di sini. Ya, jadi rata-rata Universitas Indonesia itu mendominasi itu di sekitar 800-an, ranking 800-an. Lalu yang tadi saya sebut itu Singapore Management University itu secara ranking dunia masih di 511 sampai 520. Ya, jadi secara ranking dia tidak tinggi gitu ya. Singapura yang rankingnya tinggi hanya 2 universitas itu aja ya, yang sisanya itu ya biasa-biasa lah ya. Lalu satu-satunya universitas swasta Indonesia yang masuk ke ranking dunia hanya BINUS, dan ini pun sudah di blok 1000 sampai 1200 gitu ya. Jadi dari sini adik-adik bisa membayangkan, bisa mendapat gambaran kalian mau kuliah di mana, mau kuliah di Indonesia atau mau kuliah di mana gitu, dari berdasarkan reputasi dari universitasnya. Ya, kita lanjut. Ini kita masuk ke membahas beasiswa. Tadi kita bilang ada beasiswa 92%. Ini adalah kategori dari beasiswa yang ditawarkan oleh CCN ya. Jadi kategori tertinggi adalah A0, yaitu beasiswa yang mencakup uang sekolah, akomodasi, atau uang saku gitu ya. Terus di bawahnya ada A1, A2, yaitu 100% uang sekolah, tidak ada lagi biaya akomodasi dan uang saku. Lalu ke bawah lagi 50%, di bawahnya lagi 30% dari uang sekolah yang dipotong ya. Kita lanjut. Oke, lalu di dalam foundation ini ya, itu dia ada 3 stream. Sekarang jadi 4 stream. Jadi dia ada stream bisnis, stream engineering, stream science, sama stream humanity. Jadi setiap stream itu pelajaran beda-beda. Kayak kita di sini ada SMA IPA, ada SMA IPS gitu kan, nah, sama kayak gitu. Cuma di sana baginya jadi 4 kategori. Kalau kita kan IPA, IPS gitu aja ya. Lalu jadi kita kalau di sini kita kalau mengambil stream bisnis ya berarti nanti jalurnya kuliahnya bisnis dong pastinya ya. Yang kita ajarkan adalah subjek-subjek seperti ini ya. General Chinese buat keperluan ekonomi, keperluan bisnis. Lalu pelajaran universitasnya diberikan Introduction to Economics dan Business Study. Lalu core subjeknya adalah matematika dalam Mandarin. Jadi semua pelajaran ini diajarkan dalam Mandarin sebelum kamu masuk universitas. Jadi supaya kamu lebih siap. Ini di sini diajarin nanti di universitas kamu udah ya more or less udah tahu sedikit lah gitu ya. Jadi nyambungnya itu nggak terlalu complang gitu. Kalau kamu sama sekali nggak tahu, tiba-tiba universitas ngajarin ekonomi, complangnya terlalu jauh gitu ya. Jadi kalau ini dikasih bridging, kasih jembatan lah supaya kamu melangkahnya lebih mulus. Kalau ini science and engineering, sekarang sudah dipisah ya. Science dia punya kelas sendiri, engineering dia punya kelas sendiri. Seperti ini ya, kamu bisa baca sendiri Introduction to Economics untuk university subject, lalu core subjeknya adalah seperti ini ya, bisa dibaca. Nanti bagi yang tertarik kita bisa kirimkan PPT mengenai program IP ini ya, tinggal nanti request saja ke kami kirimkan PPT-nya. Kalau ini yang namanya humanities ya. Oke ya, lanjut. Nah, jadi saya rangkum di sini ya cara kerja foundation ya. Pertama, kamu daftar ke foundation ya, foundation. Lalu setelah itu disiapkan foundation. Di sini dipersiapkan untuk kuliahnya nanti ya, foundation terbaik. Saat ini foundation kami adalah yang terbesar di China saat ini. Lalu dari foundation nanti akan diberikan beasiswa untuk kuliah yang seperti kita bilang itu dari A0 sampai A3, A4 diberikan beasiswa. Lalu kamu didaftarkan ke universitas yang menjadi pilihan kamu, yang menjadi impian kamu yang mendominasi, bukan kami yang menentukan, kamu yang memilih sendiri dari 37 itu ya. Nah, saat kuliah ya kamu tentu lebih mudah karena sudah disiapkan dari foundation, sudah dikasih bridging program ya supaya kamu ke universitas yang tidak terlalu kaget gitu ya. Lalu sambil kuliah kamu juga bisa mengambil program DCP, jadi Digital China Program. Ini tidak wajib, ini optional. Jadi kalau kamu ambil program ini diselenggarakan oleh CCN. Ya tujuannya adalah menginkorporasikan ilmu kamu, apakah itu ilmu ekonomi, ilmu engineering, ilmu apa aja, ke dalam dunia digital. Ya, karena apa? Karena saat ini kita hidup di dunia digital dan kedepannya akan semakin digital. Kalau kita nggak menguasai, jadi kita seperti nggak nyambung gitu loh. Ilmu kita dengan dunia digital tidak tersambung. Padahal itu dua ini harusnya berjalan bersamaan gitu, hand in hand, jalan berbarengan. Ya, jadi program ini bagus sekali buat siapa aja dari stream yang mana saja, mau ekonomi, mau engineering, science, ini sangat penting sekali buat mengintegrasikan antara ilmu kamu dengan dunia digital yang saat ini berjalan di dunia ya. Lalu sebelum kamu kuliah, kamu ke foundation, sama setelah kamu keluar dari foundation masuk ke kuliah, itu tetap ada support dari CCN gitu ya. Kami menyebutnya 360 degree of support. Ya, kami melindungi, kami membantu kamu sebisa kami, selengkap mungkin gitu ya. Nah, kami berharap setelah itu kamu tamat dengan bahagia. Lalu dengan bahagia juga kamu surfing kamu punya masa depan. Ya, seperti itu kira-kira gambarannya dari program kami Foundation. Lalu apakah biayanya dengan ilmu mutunya, dengan beasiswanya, dengan ilmu yang diberikan, kualitas, apakah mahal gitu ya? Ini kami kasih tabel supaya adik-adik bisa mendapat gambaran. Foundation itu ada tiga intake, 3 masa jangka waktu belajar. Foundation IPA, International Foundation Program A, itu yang terpanjang, itu 1 tahun dari September sampai Juni tahun berikutnya. Nanti September di sini masuk kuliah ya. Jalur B itu cuma 5 bulan dari Februari sampai Juni. Lalu September di sini kamu sudah kuliah. Jadi di tahun yang sama ya, nggak perlu nyebrang setahun. Ini hanya 5 bulan. Kalau ini lebih pendek lagi, ini 3 bulan. Jadi kamu tamat SMA di bulan April, Mei sudah mulai foundation sampai Agustus, September kamu sudah kuliah. Dan biayanya ada di sini ya, biayanya dari sini. Lalu jam belajarnya ada di sini. Yang setahun belajarnya 1080 jam, yang 5 bulan belajarnya 540 jam, yang 3 bulan belajarnya 330 jam. Kalau angka ini biayanya ada diskon, ya kita memberikan diskon saat ini. Diskonnya sampai kapan kita nggak tahu ya. Kita hanya diberitahu aja gitu ya. Jadi kalau adik-adik yang pengen mendaftar dan pengen menikmati beasiswa bisa menikmati diskon bisa mendaftar dengan segera. Lalu kalau kita rupiahkan adalah sejumlah ini ya. Nah, lalu kalau kita bagi rata jumlah uang foundation setahun ya 70 juta. Ini rasanya kalau adik-adik sekolah SMA aja, jangan kuliah, sekolah SMA aja, sekolah inter SMA 70 juta saya rasa nggak cukup kali buat bayar uang sekolah. Betul nggak? Ya. Jadi ini udah lebih murah daripada sekolah international A-level, O-level, or A-level kalian, ya. Lalu kalau kita bagikan menjadi rupiah per jamnya, itu hanya 65.000 rupiah per jam, which is very cheap, right? Kamu les Mandarin aja di Indonesia 65.000 itu nggak dapat, betul nggak? Saya tahu ada satu program foundation, bukan foundation sih, kelas persiapan, hanya matematika toh, itu biayanya per 100 jam dari 18 juta untuk yang basic sampai 20 juta lebih untuk yang advance. Jadi basic, intermediate, advance. Kita yang murah aja, itu tanpa ada jaminan apa-apa. Cuma belajar satu pelajaran aja, matematika. Habis itu kamu mau daftar ke universitas mana, diterima apa tidak, beasiswa apa tidak, ya itu urusan kamu semua, gitu ya. Jadi ini program ini benar-benar value for money lah ya. Lalu di bawahnya ada satu lagi program AFP yang rute terpanjang, menengah atau yang paling pendek. Itu beasiswa yang ditawarkan yang tertinggi adalah A1 ya, tidak ada A0, A1 gitu ya. Sedangkan kalau program ini UEA ini dia lebih mahal sedikit, tapi jam belajarnya lebih panjang ya, dan biaya per jamnya juga ada di sini. Nanti ini boleh di screenshot aja ya. Tapi dia ada beasiswa mulai dengan A0. Dimulai dengan A0 ya gitu. Jadi beasiswanya lebih besar kalau untuk yang UEA. Jadi seperti saya bilang tadi, biaya persiapan kuliahnya ini tidak terlalu mahal ya. Dengan biaya misalnya kita keluar biaya 70 juta lah, taruh yang paling mahal ya, yang itu ya, yang program yang apa namanya, yang oke, inilah 81 juta lah ya. Tapi dengan beasiswa yang kita dapat nanti, itu uang 81 juta itu akan tertutup kembali, bahkan lebih gitu. Jadi sangat worth it lah menurut saya ya. Nah, ini yang ada screenshot dari orang tua murid kita yang berkomentar, mungkin dia mendaftarkan anaknya ke BINUS ya, ke sekolah yang di sana itu, dia membuat komentar di statusnya seperti itu ya. Oke, jadi kita balik lagi ke program kita. Kita dapat apa aja nih dengan kita membayar biaya foundation seperti ini? Apa yang kita dapat? Nah, ini yang kita dapat. Kita mendapat pelajaran dari guru native yang berkualifikasi tinggi, ya, oke. Belajarnya bahasa Mandarin umum yaitu HSK dan bahasa Mandarin akademis sesuai jurusannya, ya. Lalu pelajaran core subjek ada matematika, ekonomi, fisika, kimia dan seterusnya, semua diajarkan dalam Mandarin, ya. Lalu karena apa namanya, CCN adalah konsorsium, jadi sertifikatnya dan anak lulusannya akan diakui oleh ke-37 universitas tadi itu, jadi mempermudah kita masuk ke universitas yang menjadi anggotanya gitu ya. Lalu beasiswanya banyak, 92% murid kami mendapat beasiswa. Sekali lagi, anak-anak lulusan AFP itu diakui oleh ke-37 universitas yang menjadi membernya. Jadi tidak dibutuhkan lagi ujian HSK 5 atau HSK 6 ya. Kamu datang dengan HSK 3, 4 itu sudah bisa diterima di CCN, diajarkan, setelah itu kamu masuk universitas, tidak butuh lagi ujian HSK 5 atau 6. Tidak butuh lagi, kecuali ada beberapa universitas yang butuh, nggak banyak, paling 2 atau 3 universitas saja. 2 atau 3 universitas saja yang masih membutuhkan ujian HSK, sisanya sudah tidak membutuhkan ujian HSK. Lalu fasilitas apa lagi yang didukung oleh China Campus Network, yaitu apa namanya, kita mensupport kalian secara menyeluruh ya. Lalu ada program DCT, Digital China Program namanya. Ini salah ketik, Digital China Program, itu untuk membuat kamu lebih terintegrasi, ilmu kamu lebih terintegrasi ke dalam dunia digital saat ini ya. Nah, ini perkiraan kita kuliah di China dengan menggunakan foundation lalu nyambung ke universitas. Kalau kamu dapat A0 uang beasiswa, berarti uang kuliah kamu selama 5 tahun, 1 tahun foundation, tahun kuliah berarti 5 tahun dibagi rata itu kira-kira 60 juta per tahun. Jadi kalau dikali 5 berarti 300 juta all in semua. 5 tahun sekolah 300 juta gitu ya. Lalu kalau misalnya kamu dapatnya A1 berarti kira-kira 80 juta per tahun. Kalau kamu dapatnya A3, beasiswanya A3 yaitu 50% uang sekolah, berarti biaya kamu per tahunnya adalah 105 juta. Jadi berarti kalau 5 tahun berarti 525 juta lah kira-kira. Ya, all in sudah. Pembagian biayanya seperti ini, ada perinciannya ya, uang sekolah, foundation, uang buku, uang makan, tiket pesawat, medical check up, tiket kamar, asrama, semuanya udah kita hitung. All in, semua udah kita hitung ya, semua udah kita hitung. Bahkan biaya cuci baju pun udah kita masukkan di sini ya, supaya nggak ada biaya yang tidak kelihatan, tidak diperkirakan. Satu-satunya biaya yang tidak diperkirakan di sini adalah biaya uang jajan. Ya, kalau kalian makan di kantin itu uang sudah tersedia 40 renminbi atau 50 renminbi per hari. Tapi kalau weekend kamu nggak mau makan di kantin, ini uangnya bisa kamu keluarkan, kamu makan di mall, ya nggak cukup kan? Tambah lagi. Tambahnya itulah yang belum termasuk di sini, gitu ya. Tambahannya itu yang belum termasuk di sini. Kalau makan di kantin, Sabtu Minggu sudah kita masukkan di sini. Nah, jadi jurusan-jurusan yang bisa kamu ambil setelah lulus dari IFP adalah seperti ini, bisnis, kamu bisa ambil ini. Jurusannya banyak sekali ya, ini kita hanya ambil yang sebagian kecilnya aja. Masih banyak yang tidak kita masukkan, nggak muat nanti di sini, terlalu banyak. Jadi kamu kalau lulusannya bisnis, ya kira-kira bidang yang bisa kamu ambil adalah seperti ini. Kalau kamu sains ya seperti ini. Kalau kamu ambil humanities ya seperti ini gitu ya. Nah, ini hanya sekadar gambaran. Untuk lebih jelasnya kalian bisa hubungi kami. Kita akan kasih data atau jurusan yang lebih banyak lagi. Jadi CCN ini banyak sekali produknya. Jadi tadi hanya saya memperkenalkan dua aja, yaitu IFP dan UEA. Ya, tadi saya memperkenalkan IFP dan UEA. Sebetulnya ada lagi universitas IFP yang khusus disiapkan untuk masuk universitas top, yaitu Fudan, Shanghai Jiao Tong, Zhejiang, Beihang, sama BNU. Ini adalah 5 universitas top. Itu anak-anak yang mau masuk sini disiapkan khusus agar chance kalian keterima di salah satu dari 5 universitas ini menjadi lebih besar. Ya, namanya IFP for Premier University, bukan premium, Premier University ya. Lalu tadi kita udah singgung juga belajarnya itu ada rute A, B dan C ya, ada yang 3 bulan, ada yang 5 bulan, ada yang setahun. Lalu ada juga Inggris IP untuk Inggris program. Lalu IP untuk masuk ke sekolah Alibaba Business School ada ya. Banyak juga yang bertanya, jadi China udah bisa berangkat belum? Kita udah bisa ke China belum? Gitu ya. Jadi saat ini baru kira-kira 2 hari yang lalu China sudah mulai terbuka. Mereka sudah meninggalkan policy zero COVID-nya. Jadi sekarang untuk ke China akan semakin mudah. Bahkan sebelum yang semakin mudah ini, murid-murid kita pun udah banyak berangkat. Dari bulan September, murid-murid kita udah banyak berangkat. Ini adalah foto-foto murid-murid kami yang berangkat ya ke China. Mereka sekarang semuanya sudah di China, sudah bebas dari karantina dan sudah mulai sekolah. Ada yang masih menjalankan karantina, tinggal 1-2 hari lagi mereka sudah bisa bebas. Seperti itu. Nah, kira-kira kelas kalian akan seperti ini nanti belajarnya. Teman kamu tuh dari mancanegara, kiri kanan depan belakang, mungkin kulitnya warnanya beda, rambutnya warnanya beda ya. Itu teman-teman kamu yang kelas internasional. Jadi teman kamu itu semuanya dari mancanegara. Disinilah kamu bisa berteman dan bernetworking. Siapa tahu suatu hari mereka akan menjadi partner bisnis kalian. Ya. Ini adalah murid kami yang di Shanghai ya. Mereka adalah ini adalah tempat senternya belajar foundation. Ini murid-muridnya. Mereka tinggal di dom sekolah. Ini yang foto ini adalah dom sekolah. Kamar mereka dari sini masuk. Dom mereka di sini masuk. Ya, ini adalah murid-muridnya. Gitu. Kami melakukan airport handling di Jakarta, bantu mereka di airport. Lalu setelah tiba di kota tujuan, mereka dijemput. Ini kebetulan mereka mendarat di Xi'an, di center yang belajar foundation-nya di Xi'an. Mereka dijemput di sana. Ini gambaran lain lagi, murid dari negara lain yang dijemput. Ya, ini murid kami yang di Shanghai. Kami melakukan airport handling di Jakarta, lalu mereka dijemput di Shanghai. Iya, kira-kira seperti itu gambaran dari kami ya, dari saya.
Terima kasih kepada Pak Tanjung atas presentasi yang telah disampaikan. Mudah-mudahan apa yang telah disampaikan menjadi suatu motivasi dan informasi awal yang baik untuk teman-teman melanjutkan studi ke China. Meningkat acara selanjutnya yaitu presentasi inti dari China Campus Network. Mungkin setelah ini nanti akan ada video opening dari CCN.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? And can you
Yes,
see the
very clear.
slides?
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. It's
Good
a great
afternoon.
pleasure to meet all of our students and parents online. I'm Sabrina. I'm the Vice President from China Campus Network. And this is like one of the many times I meet with our students from Indonesia. It's always a pleasure to invite all of you to study in China and to study with CCN. I think today I'm even more excited to do one of the session with you because I'd like to share a piece of great news with all of you because as of this week, China has updated our anti-COVID policy, which means we are moving away from zero COVID policy. What does that mean? That means actually starting from 2023, we are fully open our border for all the international students coming back to China. So I hope this is really great news for students and parents are considering studying in China. And 2023 is wide open for you. I really hope I'm bringing you the best news today. I also hope that you enjoy the video played before I talk, because previously President Chen gave a very comprehensive and interesting introduction about why I study in China. I think I'd like to support his perspectives by the video to say that China is actually one of your best choices when you are choosing to study overseas. Because put it in short, if you ask me, or what is the major reasons for you to choose China if you compare US, UK, or many other countries? I think one, China is the second largest economy in the world. I think the whole country has been going through a digital transformation in all aspects of our economy and people's daily lives. So there are many Chinese new digital companies that are emerging on the global platform to be competitive, to be even the leader in the areas for innovation. I think the video just now, President showed that China is like we are the manufacturer for the world. But I think we are doing more than that. Is we don't want to only be the manufacturer to the world. We are going to be the designer for all the world, and all the business innovations and technology innovations will be happening in this country. So we would love to invite you to experience this, to be part of the innovations happening, excitement happening for the future. I think the second reason is China is the third largest destinations for study abroad. Of course, we are number one in Asia, but we are the third largest destination for the whole world, which means, every year we have Chinese universities have been chosen by 500,000 of international students from 198 countries and regions for its academic strength. And also, I think more on how this study in China experience will empower the future career. And this is when we are competing with all the famous global universities in the world. The last, but I think will be most important for many of our parents when you are considering sending your kids abroad. I think we are. It's confident to say that we are the safest country in the world, and Chinese people have been always open and friendly to people from different country, different venue, and different culture. We have to say with pity, we do say in many countries, and some people are getting more divided. They are not that welcoming, to welcome people from different countries and different backgrounds to join them in the education system, so even as part of the immigration. But we are. And we do believe that we have a shared future for all human beings. So that's makes, I think, all the above key facts. It's not opinion, it's actually facts built on all the numbers to show that China will be your best choices. So I really hope when you are ready to make an adventure, you're 18 or you are 22 for your postgraduate, you are ready to make the adventure, to leave your home country, to invest for your future, I do hope you can choose China as your option. And when you choose China, we also want to invite you to use CCN as your bridge to study in China. We are a consortium of 37 leading Chinese universities committed to providing international students from all over the world a one-stop solution, which is before, during, and after your studies in China. And in terms of member universities, and 37 Chinese universities working in a group, we actually collectively receive 15% of all the international students in China. And in terms of our national ranking, 2/3, about 70% of our member universities are ranked in the group of 985 and 211. I'm not sure whether many of our parents and students are familiar with the terminology, but I would interpret this. This is actually the group which featuring the best quality of higher education, which is endorsed by Chinese Ministry of Education. But that's national ranking. If you look at global ranking, we're also very proud to say many of our member universities are standing shoulder to shoulder in the first league with all the other global famous universities. If you look at 2022 QS ranking tables, 10 Chinese universities ranked in top 250, and 4 of them are actually CCN members. They are Fudan University, Zhejiang University, Shanghai Jiao Tong, and Harbin Institute of Technology. If you look specifically for subject areas, like you take a look at US News 2022 for best engineering universities in the world, 3 Chinese universities have been listed in top 10. And then except Tsinghua University, 2 of them are actually our member universities. Number 5 is Harbin Institute of Technology. If you have a look at who are in the group, is actually the University of California, Berkeley. UC Berkeley ranks only after number 5 as number 7. And Imperial College of London in the UK ranks number 9. So that gives us a great pride that, in terms of the academic strengths, globally, our member universities are really competitive. But based on as a whole group, we know each of our universities have their own strengths, but they do have a common belief. Is while widely receiving a large number of international students from all over the world, we found that the preparations for students get into Chinese universities to study degree programs are actually not enough. So they're not prepared, because usually people will just take some HSK test, you get a HSK 4, and then you move to a Chinese degree programs. But HSK only focus on general Chinese. I believe President Chen just now mentioned some aspects of that. So we don't think students are ready. We don't think students are prepared, and the consequences, many of the students will fail during the degree studies, which would be a damage for the students and also a waste of all the resources for Chinese universities. That's why in such a context, I think all our member universities have decided how they could do something to fill in the gap, because in terms of the academic distances, no matter in terms of Chinese language or in terms of subjects, which from different countries compared to China, also in terms of culture differences, there are a lot of gaps which may endanger your study or may make your success of your degree study more difficult. So in this context, I think 37 universities have joined together. They developed a bridging program for international students, which we call International Foundation Program. And this program is designed just with the purpose to fully prepare international students. Before they move into degree studies in China, they need to be prepared linguistically, culturally and academically. So the program is jointly developed by all our member universities and recognized by all of them. What we mean by recognized is actually after you've taken IFP program, you get all the graduation results of IFP, and that would be the only evidences we need to prepare to the universities. Based on that, you will be offered admissions or even the scholarships if you have achieved the best IFP results. So that gives us, we build up our own fast track to prepare, evaluate, admit, and reward with scholarships to our own students for 37 universities. That's basically the background about CCN and IFP. And we are also very proud after 7 years, CCN now is the biggest foundation provider for international students in Chinese market. So with such a big context, I think we also would like to invite many of our outstanding Indonesia students to join, to choose CCN and choose CCN IFP to prepare you. And we offer 3 major benefits if you have done IFP, because IFP has worldwide recognition and based on its best quality of teaching. And secondly, we also offer all the students who have chosen IFP a wide choice of universities and scholarship opportunities and guarantee of university and scholarships. And last but not least is also because when we are emphasizing you need to be prepared, but we also are very, very aware that probably we need to improve the efficiency, how students can save the time but still achieve the same level of the preparation. So we also have different model of IFP courses to just offer you top efficiency to get yourself ready before you start degree studies in Chinese university. That's 3 major benefits. Let me explain a little in details for you. For the current group of graduates for IFP, if you choose IFP, you will choose to join a group of 3,300 students from 15 countries who have already taken IFP and graduated from IFP and progressed to one of the 37 universities studying the degree programs, a wide range of subjects for degree studies. And many of them have, because of the outstanding IFP results, have get the best scholarships for the academic excellence. If you want to understand more, who are your peer students are coming from, I think I'd like to show a little bit more. I see President Chen shared that previously. I think one of our biggest group students, IFP students coming from Europe. We have more than 1,600 students graduated from IFP, which are from Russia. And then I think Southeast Asia is actually the second largest market for IFP. We have students, very good, outstanding students from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from Thailand, and from Vietnam. We also see a lot of students emerging to be more interested and also recognized IFP courses, which is from Latin American. So you can say all the countries, 15 countries of CCN offices in, and we do see a wide range of recognition and a high level of recognitions from each of these 15 countries. And that would give you a very wide, expanded diversity of your IFP peer students and alumni. So, but we do think that when you have this word recognition and why you can have more than 3,000 students choose you is based on our best quality, because as the biggest foundation provider, we know the best ideas and methods and teaching methods to teach how to prepare our students. And the experience of teaching such a wide number of students from a diversity of countries make us very experienced, not only to know what to teach, about how to teach. because when you are the students from different country and your learning habit or needs or challenges will be very country specific. So that's very important for the whole teaching and system methodologies upgrading for you. And not only during the IFP, if you join IFP student, programs, after you graduated during your degree studies, there will be post-IFP academic resources and support provided to you as part of the alumni academic services for you, which this, I don't think any other students who just purely do HSK test and then get into the universities, they don't have such a systematic support for them all the way through when you are studying in China and doing your degrees. I think the second one is we have the best teachers. The very proud fact is actually many of our foundation IFP teachers were actually from the first group of the academic staff in developing and teaching foundation program in Chinese universities for international students from, I think, from 15 years ago, when Chinese government have just initiated to introduce foundation preparations for international students coming to China. So they were in the first group. They are the most experienced and also have gone through all the different stages of how the foundation program has evolved. So you've got the best teachers in the classroom to teach you. Of course, we have best facilities, no matter online, offline. We need to make sure you have a complete streamlined teaching facilities to support all your teaching, teachers teaching and students learning. Last, but also very, very importantly, I think for students is when you are choosing a program is because when you are studying in different locations, but the strong quality assurance is very important to ensure the teaching and delivery quality is up to the level, which is standard level set up by IP program. This is especially important. I want to share with our students' parents is when the quality assurance is stronger, and then the result of the IFP will be more recognized by the universities, which means based on that, you will be able to guarantee with this as evidence of your academic to be offered a place and to be awarded scholarship or even better scholarships than any other international students. So this is always what we think is quality is the best reason why we have such a wide recognition. The second benefits is when you have chosen IFP and you are offered with wide choices of universities and scholarships, and you are also guaranteed with university offer and scholarships offers based on your academic results. As we introduced, we have a group of 37 Chinese universities, which you can say the list of that. So no matter you have different interests in different universities with different academic streams or geographic locations, you want to study in tier 1 cities like Beijing or Shanghai, or you want to study in a culturally famous city like Xi'an, you want to study in the north, because we used to have a lot of students from Southeast Asia say, okay, I want to experience a snowing winter. So all of that is, you will always have the option from one of the universities. In terms of programs, we know that IFP prepare students to progress to undergraduate and postgraduate studies in Chinese universities. But 37 universities collectively, we have more than 100 of degree programs for you to choose from. So that is a good thing. But also in the same time, we want to give you some of our recognitions or recommendations about how to choose a program. Because in 3 major streams like business and management, science and engineering, humanities, that's a major stream of all the programs. But out of these hundreds or even thousands of programs, what you should choose? We do have our recommendations. I think on the business and management, we especially recommend our some programs which is cross-border e-commerce, digital marketing, big data management. Under science and engineering, we have Internet of Things, engineering, AI, software. Or humanities, we have digital media and business Chinese or communications and journalism. I'd like to explain, I don't want to list all the programs here, but I want to explain a little bit more about why we recommend those programs. I think number one, remember when we introduced Why China, we think we have a digital China here, which means in the era of digital economy, China is doing exceptionally well in the practice of the industry or business innovation. So that part is actually also reflected to our higher education system to prepare students for that kind of expertise. No matter you're going to work with China or you go back to bring all these best practices back to your country. So that's the best thing you should learn about China if you come to Chinese university. The second one is we also, as a university consortium, we keep a very close communications and collaboration with the industry. And those are actually the most demanded areas for people to need the talents. So if you are investing in your education in China, we would hope that you are choosing the right one which are in demand by the industry, especially when it engage between Indonesia and China, this bilateral trade, investment or other technologically, exchange of that. So that will make you more competitive for your future career. So that's the degree program. I believe later when my colleagues introducing programs, you'll get a little bit more about, how to choose a program. But this is major, mainly the reason about why choices. Nothing only about you have a lot of choices, but the most important thing is you are offered guarantee. So to enable you, you are going to enjoy all those choices. So in terms of the IFP offer, when it comes to university placement and scholarships, we benefit the student by the program is if the students have completed IFP, if you pass the program with 60% of the program, and then you will be guaranteed to be accepted by one of CSN member universities. So this is a guarantee which we offer within the group. Nothing only about getting into CSN universities. In terms of scholarship awards, if you successfully completed but also achieve 75% on average of all the subjects, or even higher, and then you will be guaranteed with scholarships by one of the CSN universities. Our minimum here is 75%, but if you, for example, you're achieving like 85 or 90% of on average, actually many of the students have get the best scholarship, including tuition fee, and even including accommodation or living allowance. So this kind of setup, which means is, so your job is actually to focus on to study and to perform to the best. And then the whole CSN and IFP programs will guarantee you with all good choices of university and even financial scholarship awards. So that would be what we see as the second biggest benefits for students to choose IFP. And if I can share more facts here, because I don't want to just give you the conclusion, is if you look at the previous 3,000 students, except some of them are still studying in the current academic year, we have more than 2,500 IFP graduates have successfully progressed to 30 out of 37 of our CSN universities. And you can have a lot of, actual numbers about we have 247 going to Shanghai universities. It's a big city location, which is very attractive. We have 151 going to Xi'an Jiao Tong University. We mentioned about HIT, the best engineering universities, and we have 110 of our IFP graduates successfully progressed, and many of them enjoy the scholarships. If I go back to the next page, you can see how many scholarships have been awarded. I think here I want to emphasize is we are not just, talking about scholarship. For all the long, we're talking about academic results. So for all those have passed IFP with 60% on average, so all the statistics from 2016 to 2022, and we have more than 90% of the students have received scholarships, all sorts of scholarships from 37 member universities. And out of that, we even have 40% of them received the full scholarship. What do we mean by full scholarship is usually apart from 100% tuition fee, students will also be awarded either 100% accommodation allowance or 100% of living allowances. So this actually, nothing we're proud about the money, but what we especially proud is the academic performances achieved by IFP students together with our IFP teaching team. And also in terms of the level of recognition by the universities. So this is all the major facts we want to share. We also want some of you or all of you for the future, and you will be included in this great list. And last reason, I think this is especially becomes important, and especially important recent years, is about efficiency. So for IFP program, we offer two different models. The traditional model is full-time, is when you have graduated from high school, and then you can start from 0 level Chinese, which you can do Route A, or if you have certain level of Chinese, you can do Route B, Route C. That would be done by a full-time model. But I think we introduced the part-time model 2 years ago. Is we have gradually realized that this would be a better way for students to spend the time. Because I want to share some examples here. Is China is also producing the biggest number of students going to study overseas. So to US or to UK, to Europe, to many other Asian countries. So we are sending the biggest number of students. But if you look through all the models, how Chinese students are get ready for them, we see from the past 20 years, and I don't think, less and less of the people will do all the preparations after the graduate from Chinese high school. So usually they will start all the preparations starting from early time in terms of language, in terms of other qualifications, like they do, a TOEFL, IELTS, GRE, A-level, IB, all sorts of that. So we do believe when studying China, we also need to introduce more flexible models to fulfill the needs about the students from different countries. So we introduce part-time, which can be lasting from 2 years to 4 years time. And if you are a year, high school year 1 students, and probably you can intend to start a 3 years program, gradually getting yourself prepared while you are doing your high school study. So when you choosing the part-time, I think the best thing is you don't have to wait, because you are ready already to go right after you graduated from your high school. And usually we saw some additional benefits if you compare to full-time is students will have longer periods of time to be engaged in studying Chinese or getting prepared for academic skills or the culture stuff. So you will get stronger academic preparations because the total time invested, which actually will be longer. And then it will be safer, because I do think many of the students, even especially some parents, are especially worried because are my kids able to cope with all the pressure if they go, graduated, go to other country, and then right after that made all the decision to study a single different language and different programs. So if you start that earlier in your country and gradually feel yourself, are you, into this kind of style, or this is the best choice for you. So it's actually safer for you to build up your confidence and to be successful. The third one is also quicker because, as we said, you don't need to wait take an extra year or half year to do all the preparations. And financially, I think this would be attractive to some people, is lower the threshold financially, because when it's longer, you will be able to pay installment and all the other financial pressure will be lower. Especially, I do feel like, because we do have these kind of examples, we do have like twins, parents are sending 2, 3, brothers and sisters to study abroad. So if we have that kind of longer of time, probably financially would be better. So that's basically 3 background about, why studying China and what is the value of CCN as an organization, the strength of CCN, and 4, especially the IFP program, and why you should choose that. We offer because of these 3 major reasons. But no matter how, I think the most important thing is we want to help with the students' success. Because when you are choosing, I think this is always my advice, if you can allow me to give to our students and parents. When you are choosing to study in another country, don't focus on how to get into a university. Focus on how you are going to be successful during, and then what would be the future for you after. So if you start from, at the end to the beginning, probably you will make more rational choices for yourself or for your kids. So that's a very brief introduction from me about CCN, about our benefits. But I do hope that we can see all of you in the near future in China. So in the following sessions, my colleagues Anna will also introduce you more in details about CCN programs. That's all from me. Thank you very much for listening.
Halo semuanya, perkenalkan nama saya Brian dari Jakarta. Saat ini umur 19 tahun. Saya adalah salah satu lulusan program IFP dari Xi'an Shiyou University. Pada kesempatan ini, saya akan membagikan pengalaman saya selama 1 tahun belajar di sana. IFP sendiri adalah program pembelajaran yang disediakan oleh China Campus Network. Program ini disediakan bagi murid-murid internasional yang mau belajar di China. Ini adalah profil singkat saya. Saya sendiri adalah lulusan SMA Pelangi Kasih angkatan 2021. Saya mulai belajar program IFP di bulan Oktober 2021 dan menyelesaikannya di bulan Juli 2022. Setelah menyelesaikan pembelajaran di program ini, saya diterima di University of International Business and Economics dan akan melanjutkan kuliah saya di sana pada September mendatang. Jurusan yang saya ambil di sana adalah Finance. Dengan bimbingan dan bantuan guru-guru di Xi'an Shiyou University bagian China Campus Network, saya berhasil menyelesaikan program pembelajaran IFP dengan nilai rata-rata yang tinggi. Oleh karena itu, saya diterima di 2 universitas tempat saya daftar sebelumnya, yaitu di Xi'an Chiaotong University dan di University of International Business and Economics. Saya juga menerima beasiswa sebesar 100% di tahun pertama. Setelah menyelesaikan program ini, kemampuan bahasa Mandarin saya juga banyak meningkat, baik di speaking, listening, dan reading. Saya juga mendapatkan kesempatan untuk belajar matematika dan ekonomi dalam bahasa Chinese di program ini. Menurut saya, keunggulan terbesar dari program IFP adalah pilihan-pilihan universitasnya setelah menyelesaikan pembelajaran di sini. Karena China Campus Network bekerja sama dengan banyak universitas dan sangat diakui oleh universitas-universitas terkenal di China. Berikut ini adalah beberapa contoh universitas terkenal di China yang bisa kalian apply setelah lulus program IFP. Ada Fudan University, Shanghai Jiaotong University, Zhejiang University, dan lain-lain. Oleh karena itu, setelah berhasil menyelesaikan studi di IFP, kalian bisa mendapatkan penerimaan universitas yang ideal. Jika nilainya cukup bagus, kalian juga bisa mendapatkan beasiswa. Di program ini, kalian juga akan mendapatkan pelajaran matematika dan bisnis ekonomi dalam bahasa Chinese. Kalau yang ekonomi itu tergantung jurusan kalian. Selain ekonomi, ada hubungan internasional dan fisika. Dengan adanya mata pelajaran ini, kalian jadi jauh lebih mudah untuk beradaptasi saat kuliah di universitas dengan pengantar bahasa Chinese nanti. Menurut saya, pengalaman yang paling berkesan selama belajar di sini adalah pelajarannya yang intensif. Program IFP sendiri memiliki sekitar 30 jam kelas per minggunya. Setiap harinya, kita dilatih untuk mendengar dan berkomunikasi menggunakan bahasa Chinese dengan guru-guru dan teman-teman di sana. Untuk mempertahankan nilai yang baik, saya terpaksa harus belajar lebih keras dan mencoba mengatur waktu lebih baik lagi. Pada akhirnya, saya secara bertahap dapat beradaptasi dengan intensitas belajar di program ini. Hal inilah yang membuat level Chinese saya meningkat dengan cepat. Sebelum ikut program ini, saya sendiri juga merasa agak takut karena mendengar teman-teman saya yang kuliah di China pada kesusahan karena mereka belum terbiasa dengan matematika Chinese dan kosakata ekonomi Chinese. Untungnya, program ini mencangkup pelajaran matematika dan ekonomi dalam bahasa Chinese. Karena telah mempelajari sebagiannya di program ini, saya menjadi tidak terlalu khawatir dengan pelajaran di kuliah nanti. Ini adalah beberapa tips dari saya supaya bisa mendapatkan nilai yang baik di program IFP ini. Saya sendiri sangat terbantu dengan poin nomor 1 dan nomor 2. Mereview pelajaran sangat membantu saya mengingat apa yang sudah diajarkan. Di saat yang sama, melihat-lihat unit pelajaran baru juga membantu saya mendapatkan gambaran besar tentang unit tersebut. Sehingga ketika gurunya sedang mengajarkan, saya menjadi lebih mudah mengerti apa yang sedang diajarkan. Ini semua adalah pengalaman saya belajar di program IFP. Sekian dari saya, semoga dapat membantu.
Hello, everyone. I hope you could help me confirm that you can hear me and that you can see my PPT.
Yes, Anna.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. So hello, everyone. I hope that you're having a very nice afternoon today with us. We're going close to 2 hours, so thank you so much for staying with us until now. My name is Anna Zupan, and I would like to introduce a little bit more into detail about our CCN program so that you can really get to know which one fits you the most and which one you should really choose in the future. But before we really start about the program's details, let me just this slogan that we have here at CCN. So we always say that we like to provide a one-stop solution for before, during, and also for after your studies in China. So what do we really mean with before? For before, it really means the foundation courses. I think that President Chen and also Sabrina already talked a lot about these foundation courses. I will also let you know more in detail about what it actually means, what differences there are, and the main programs here that you can really choose are IFP and the other programs at our CCN member universities. And for after, very interestingly, I think that this is something that really makes CCN really special. We also try to prepare you for when you will enter your professional life, your professional career, open your own business, and so on. So here I would like to introduce you to our Digital China program a little bit more. But let's just first focus on the before part. So when we talk about IFP, it's really the foundation courses that we jointly developed with our member universities. So when we really talk about IFP, we talk about the foundation courses. And these foundation courses were really developed together with our member universities. And because of this reason, they are really also recognized by them as a sort of criteria for university admission, as well as also the scholarship that you can get in the end. So this financial support is really very important, because it can really focus on your studies, to money or anything like that. We also best quality, so really try to provide you with the best teaching stuff, as well as with resource. But lastly, what really makes IFP so is the model itself. So it means 1 to N. What does this really mean? Is you, one student, to a lot of different universities. So it really means this choice. You have a lot of choices when it comes to our member universities, and also basically hundreds of choices when it comes to actual majors. Let me also talk a little bit about the actual learning outcomes. So when we talk about learning outcomes, I would like to introduce you to 4 different aspects that I think are the most important. So the first one is really linguistic confidence. So we talked about a lot about that HSK is maybe not enough. This is because for HSK, we think that the knowledge is a little bit too passive. So we would like you to be really confident, and so confident that you can really go to your future teacher and communicate with them, and also meet with your Chinese classmates, and also do different projects with them, so that you really don't have any problems in the classroom. And the second one is also academic preparedness. So what does this mean? So if you can imagine you as an Indonesian student that has finished high school, or let's say someone that comes from Europe, or someone that is from America, when they finish high school, really their knowledge level is a lot different than from Chinese students. So there is a certain difference in the educational systems. And I think that a lot of times as foreigners, when we come to China to study a degree, maybe we will have problems with mathematics or something like that. So we really try to help you overcome this academic gap in the foundation program. And then the third one is really the cultural adaptability. So sometimes when you come to a completely new country, it can be quite a shock for us. And if we are going through this shock, maybe it's difficult for us to focus on the studies itself. Or maybe we don't really know what it means, what is polite and how to insult someone. So we really need to be careful. And this is something that we also try to teach you during the foundation course. And lastly, we talked also about Digital China Campus. Is this professional employability. So during your foundation courses and all along, since we support you on your whole journey, we like to make you notice how to really do networking in China, because this is also really something important. And when you are preparing to start your career, of course, you also have to notice this sort of thing. And then let's look more in detail about what you will actually going to study. So the foundation course is really tailored to each student's needs. So different students, they are going to study maybe undergraduate degree, maybe they are going to focus on postgraduate degree. And for example, we also have different streams depending on what your major is going to be about, because of course, if you're going to study chemical engineering, it's not the same as if you're going to study, for example, Chinese language, or if you're going to study international trade or something like that. So maybe we can take a look at what your classes are going to be if you choose engineering stream. So for example, that you would like to study architecture. So this would mean that you, of course, need to learn general Chinese. This is somehow the basis that you really need to learn. But then you are also going to have to learn Chinese for academic purposes. So this means you will need to study specific terminology for mathematics and also for physics. And then when it comes to bridging the differences between your high school and the Chinese high school, we will also prepare you for subjects. So this means mathematics and physics. And maybe let's take another example and look at what it would be if you chose a postgraduate degree in business. So again, we said that general Chinese is really the basis. So of course you need to study it, but then when it comes to special terminology, you would have to study mathematics, economics, and also business studies. And we would also let you study research methodology, because we think that when you choose a master's degree, there is a lot of research that you need to do during the master. You need to write a lot of papers. So this is really something that we also want to prepare you to do. And next, we can take a look a little bit more in detail about the Chinese level, because of course, different students, maybe they are complete beginners, or maybe they have already started some Chinese before. So we of course have three different entry levels. So let's say that you're a complete beginner, then of course you will need to spend a little bit more time to prepare for a degree in Chinese. So we call this Route A. Route A would be suitable for you. You would start in September. And then basically you have 2 semesters until July that you would take our course, and then also take the final exams, and then proceed to a degree in September. Now, if you have some sort of Chinese basic knowledge, for example, around HSK 3 to HSK 4, then you would choose our Route B. So our Route B, it's around 4 months long. It starts in April, and then you finish in August and proceed to your degree in September. Route C is the shortest. So it's basically just 3 months, and it's really for students that already have a very good knowledge of Chinese. They are around the level of HSK 4 or above. So mostly they will just focus on the subjects, but of course also continue with their Chinese. And let's go next. So let me talk a little bit more about the guarantee, because of course the guarantee is important before you really go into the foundation study. So what does it mean to get an IFP guarantee? So at the bottom line, we guarantee you with the acceptance into at least one CCN member university if you pass our foundation course. But of course, I believe many of you can achieve much more than just 60%. So you can actually make 2 choices of university. So the first choice can really be your dream university in the dream city, and really the major that you always want to go to. But maybe these requirements are a little bit high. Let's say maybe 90, something like that. And then the second choice can be a little bit lower, but still it's a university that you would really like to go to. But it's just a sort of safety net for you, so that if anything happens and you cannot meet those high requirements, you still have that second choice of your university. So this is somehow the IFP guarantee. Of course, at the same time, we also guarantee you with scholarship. So you will get a very specific requirements that you need to meet during the foundation courses to get this scholarship opportunity. But let's talk a little bit more about the scholarship, because I believe that it's something that we all focus about, because of course it makes our study much more convenient. So for the IFP, we have 4 different scholarship levels. The highest one is here, A1. So it means that it covers basically the whole tuition fee by a CCN university that falls into the category of 985 or 211. So these are one of the best universities that you can choose in China. And then we have A2. this is still 100% of tuition fee, but at a non-985 or 211 CCN university. And then we have A3, which means 50% of tuition fee, and A4, which means below 50%, usually around 30 or maybe 10%, depending on the university. So this was about IFP. So let's talk a little bit more about the UEA program now. So here you can see that UEA program is a little bit different here from IFP. It says one-on-one. So what does this really mean? It means that you, one student, are really going to choose exactly one university, one major, and you already, before you even start your foundation courses, you know what type of scholarship you can get if you meet certain IFP results in the end. So this is somehow different. We also like to say that UEA is somehow our more premium product. So you will also get a little bit more, a few more classes that will really prepare you even better so that you can really reach those results in the end. And when it comes to UEA, actually, we also chose very special majors for you because the whole point of UEA is really to make you into a future talent. So you will really be a sought after talent, so it will be quite easy for you to get a job in the future. So here, if you look at a few, for example, in the business and management stream, we have e-commerce, we have marketing, digital marketing. So this is really something that is very sought after, and probably in the future you can develop very well. In the humanities stream, for example, we have digital media, we have network and new media. So this, again, very popular majors. In the engineering stream, we have, for example, big data management and application. We have artificial intelligence. So again, really popular majors. So UEA guarantee is actually a little bit different from IFP, because as we said, before you even start your foundation studies, it's actually already clear what university you are going to and what major exactly, and also what scholarship you can get. So it's very particular one-on-one model. And if you meet the criteria that is on your offer, you will proceed to go into that major without any problems after you finish the foundation study. So this guarantee is really a very strong guarantee. And when it comes again to scholarship, because as I mentioned, it's our premium program, you get even more opportunities for scholarships as well. So we have what we call A0 scholarship category. This means that you can get the full scholarship. So this means 100% of tuition fee, and then you can also get accommodation, so dormitory fee will be covered, and as well as a small living allowance. So for example, every month you would get some money so that you can spend it on living expenses. So I think this is a very strong scholarship. I don't think you need to really worry about anything if you can get it. Then next, I would also like to introduce you to our Digital China program. So we call it DCP. So this really falls into the category of after. So after your degree study, how can CCN help you to prepare better for your future professional career? And we do this actually by taking you outside of the classroom. So taking you away from the classroom and providing you with some sort of practical experience, which is really important. So the program is really divided into 3 parts. Of course, we're going to talk about digitalization, because I think in China, that is a very popular term. It's also a part of development and the direction that China is going. And then a little bit smaller, we are going to look at digital transformations. So we will look at different industries like retail, like logistics, like finance, and so on. And lastly, it is about your project. So there is going to be a real product from a Chinese company that you will have to do research on for your project. It starts from marketing research, and then you do product innovation, and then you do also digital marketing, for example, on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe you will even prepare your own website. So it's really quite an experience in real life. And then, of course, because we are working with all of these Chinese companies, so real products, it can also link you to the businesses in China, which again is a very good opportunity for you. And lastly, I think a very good value of DCP is actually that it can be recognized for credits by our CCN member universities. So before we really conclude this part, I would like to show you a little bit from this year. When we took our students to an industry tour of Alibaba campus. We actually also talked with different Chinese brands. We had one from security cameras. We also hosted one about fishing equipment and also about bedding. So it was quite interesting. And these are actually our students. So when they did their final project, we also had a competition in the end. And they really impressed our judges. And the winner actually of the final roadshow was really recognized at the final competition. And we are actually going to connect the team with the Chinese manufacturer. So it's a very good opportunity actually for you if you really decide to choose this Digital China program. So this is really everything from my side. Thank you so much for listening. And I would really like to invite you to come to study in China and join our CCN. Thank you so much.
Halo semuanya, Tachahao, nama saya adalah Audrey Keiko Wilona. Saya lulusan dari CCN AFP UG Engineering Program pada tahun 2022. Saya lulus dari SMAK 1 BPK Penabur Bandung dengan AFP Center di Northwestern Polytechnical University di Xi'an. Berkat dari program CCN AFP ini, saya bisa bersekolah di Shanghai University dengan jurusan Food Science and Engineering. Pada hari ini, saya ingin sharing pengalaman saya selama bersekolah di AFP. Jadi apa sih sebetulnya CCN AFP? Menurut saya, CCN AFP ini bukan sekedar sekolah bahasa, tapi juga adalah pembangun fondasi menuju university. Kenapa demikian? Karena secara akademis, ini bukan belajar hanya bahasa saja, tapi juga matematika dan fisikanya. Selain dari akademis, juga ada kelas cultural, di mana kita bisa belajar lebih lanjut mengenai kebudayaan Tiongkok dan tidak mendapatkan cultural shock yang besar saat bersekolah di Tiongkok. Selama AFP, saya memiliki beberapa achievement, yaitu HSK 4, kemudian diterima di university target saya, yaitu Shanghai University, dengan major yang saya emang inginkan, yaitu Food Science and Engineering Program. Dan scholarship-nya didapatkan sebesar 50% tuition fee. Selain dari pembelajarannya yang terpadu, pembelajarannya juga terarah. Kenapa demikian? Karena meskipun saya belajar selama 1 tahun full secara online, jadwalnya fix dan jelas, yaitu 30 jam per minggunya, dengan kurikulum semester 1 fokus ke bahasa, dan semester 2-nya fokus ke penjurusan, yaitu matematika dan fisika. Selain itu juga platform pembelajarannya praktis untuk digunakan karena sudah integrated, jadi semua bisa dilakukan dalam satu aplikasi. Hal itu meliputi send message ke guru, mengerjakan ujian, mengumpulkan tugas dan PR, juga ngecek nilai raport, dan absensi gitu. Jadi nggak perlu repot-repot ngedownload banyak aplikasi dan akhirnya membebankan kita. Kemudian selama IFP ini, saya mendapatkan beberapa hal yang saya ingin sharing. Yang pertama adalah jangan malu bertanya. Guru-guru IFP sangat friendly dan siap untuk ditanya kapan saja dan mereka akan dengan senang hati menjawab pertanyaan kita. Lalu kemudian mencatat sebanyak mungkin karena guru-guru IFP akan mengajarkan tips and trick dan rumus-rumus cepat yang sangat berguna di university. Review dan preview ini sangat berguna, di mana review itu berguna untuk ujian dan preview ini berguna untuk pembelajaran esok hari supaya di kelas tidak ketinggalan pelajaran. Bertanya kepada teman, karena di IFP ini temannya adalah teman-teman internasional dari berbagai negara, dan kita bisa saling sharing, bisa belajar bersama. Lalu kemudian mengerjakan PR dan jangan telat masuk kelas. Nah, dua hal ini adalah menurut saya yang paling penting. Karena apabila telat masuk kelas, itu takutnya ketinggalan pelajaran. Dan juga dengan mengerjakan PR secara rajin dan tidak telat masuk kelas, itu otomatis memupuk kedisiplinan diri yang bisa diimplementasikan saat masuk ke university gitu. Untuk kesimpulannya, saya sangat terbantu dengan program IFP CCN ini. Kenapa? Karena mulai dari learning attitude, cara belajar, kemudian bahan belajarnya sendiri, yaitu bahasa Mandarin, matematika, dan fisikanya sendiri, sangat terpakai di university saat ini, apalagi sekarang saya sedang mempersiapkan kelas offline gitu. Sampai di sini sharing saya hari ini. Terima kasih atas kesempatan yang telah diberikan. 谢谢大家，再见。